Hey there. So, my next guest has seemingly been everywhere. He's done all kinds of jobs and has settled on a trade. And it's really interesting because he clearly loves his position and he's balancing his life. He's balancing streaming and gaming. And he really gets to talk about how wonderful the whole thing is. And I really think you guys are going to like this one. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. In today's episode, I have a very special guest for us. I have Brandon Bledsoe. Hey there, Brandon. How's it going?
Good, and you?
Fantastic. It's a beautiful sunny day in Las Vegas. How about yourself?
It's a little cloudy out here in Virginia.
All right. All right. So, Brandon, I like to get the show rolling just right into it. So why don't you go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure, yeah. Once again, my name is Brandon Bledsoe. Born and bred in Richmond, Virginia. I started gaming at an early age. As soon as I could know how to, I was playing on the NES with my dad. It just kind of grew from there. Started working at the age of 15, so my balance between work and gaming started about there. I was also doing sports in school, so it's kind of juggling all three of those things at the same time. So it's kind of helped me here in the past couple years with that. But, with my job, I do a lot of traveling. So I service washers and dryers for a commercial laundry company Monday through Friday, and I get weekends off. So
Very cool.
Cool laid back guy.
I want to know. I want to know about it all. But before we kind of get into it, I ask everybody a single question to start my interviews. I'm going to ask you just like I ask everybody else. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high, how weird are you, Brandon?
I'd probably put that about a 7.
All right. Why is that?
I do things my way. It's not so much, following the crowd. And a lot of times I do some things that make people go, but it works out for me. So I kind of run with it.
All right. Okay. So this is the Gamerpreneur, and you kind of told me a little bit about your gaming background, but you said roughly 5 is when you started playing video games. And how did that progress? You started with the NES and then moved up, or just how's that?
So yeah, my dad, when the NES first came out, he got the first one. And as I got older, Super Mario was real big back in the day. So he plugged up the second controller, and he would, when I first started playing, he'd show me how to do everything. He showed me how to get to, some of the spots that others couldn't get to. And then I just, when he wasn't there, I would play it myself and get better at the game. And then we would do trial runs to see who would get the better time in finishing it. And then later on in life, I started to get more into gaming as he slowed down. So I was going, Nintendo 64, Sega Dreamcast, PS1s, Xbox 360, just climbing up the ladder and practicing myself on how to get better at video games. Started playing PC at a young age as well. So when PC started to get real big, I got into it. So it's gaming comes natural to me. So a lot of times for me, when people ask, how do you game on this a console or PC, how do you do both? It's just it's natural for me. I can't really explain it.
For sure. I love it. All right. Now, what are you currently playing, Brandon?
So right now, I'm strictly PC, and I've been playing a little bit of Rogue Company, a little bit of Call of Duty, more so Warzone than multiplayer. I'm playing a new game, Rocket Arena and Fall Guys.
Everybody's playing Fall Guys at the moment.
Yeah, yeah, I don't play it as much as everybody else, but it's definitely a fun game. Um, I kind of play a variety of different games. Division 2, I re-downloaded that last night, and within like 2.5 hours, got myself to level 30.
All
So
right.
it's a way to calm me down after a long work week. So I just run through multiple different games within a 6-hour span.
All right. Now, it sounds like you've been playing a long time now. What's your number one favorite game of all time?
Number one favorite game of all time.
Isn't this a tough question? Like every time I get asked, I'm like,
Yeah, it is. Well, because for me, I don't have like a favorite game, but if I had to choose, um, since I'm more of like a multiplayer style gamer, I would say Call of Duty.
All right. All right. Okay. So, Brandon, let's get over to the preneur part of gamerpreneur. You say you do repairs, but how did you get into this line of work? What's your professional background?
So it's not long, but it's not short either. Like I said, I started working at 15. I started selling cars for a exotic car dealership when I was living in Japan, and from that point, I just kind of grew like a seller's mindset. So when I got back to the States and was in my senior year, um, I was working at a retail store selling shoes. And I did the same thing when I started going to college in Alaska, selling shoes there. Got into selling clothes. And then at that point, I kind of wanted to open my mindset because I stopped going to college. I just wanted to make money. I wanted to work and be able to play video games on my off time instead of having to study. So I started to find like trades. When I moved to Arizona, I started building houses, doing flooring, doing pipe work, working HVAC, and then I got into one of my favorite things to do, which is pool service. So I was cleaning pools on a Monday through Friday basis. And that kind of led me to wanting to get into doing other things. So I started working for Dish Network. I started working for Verizon Wireless and Verizon Fios. So I was selling and hooking up cable internet and phone. And that's what led me to this job here, which has probably been the best job aside from pool service, which is, I deliver, hook up and service washing machines and dryers for colleges and apartment complexes in about 26 different states.
Very cool. You have been everywhere, my man. And it
My
sounds like
mom's
you've done a little
military.
bit of everything.
Yeah, my mom's military, so we moved a lot, which kind of opened me up to the idea of wanting to kind of get my hands in every piece of or every line of work that's possible, because seeing different ways that people do certain jobs, it kind of gets you, like, my resume is built up from the ground up. I wasn't handed anything. I kind of had to work for everything that I've had, aside from what my parents got me. But it's just, hard work is hard workers are hard to come by. So I try to pride myself on hard work and learning everything, like new things every day.
Okay, it's beautiful. Now, can you kind of tell me a little bit more about your current position? So you have 26 states you cover, you deliver, you hook up. Like it has to be more than that, though, right? Like what's it entail?
So, it's not much more than that. It's kind of like straight to the point. So the title of like what I do, I'm installation and preventive maintenance. Um, the subcategories of what I do would entail, like, dryers get lint inside of them. So if they get too much lint inside of them, it can create a dryer fire.
Hmm.
So me and my coworker, we ride in the same truck to everywhere we go. We carry compressors and vacuum cleaners, tools to get inside the dryers. We clean them out, make sure that a dryer fire won't occur. As far as the washers are concerned, we kind of just make sure that like all the parts are good to go. Nothing's gonna break. There's not gonna be any leaks. The installation part of it comes with, you know, colleges ordering machines and kind of giving us a spot to put them. Certain places don't look like laundry rooms, but they become laundry rooms. So we kind of just hook them up from there and make sure the school likes where they're at. They like the position that they're in. And we do deal a lot with like technicians. Technicians are the ones that work on them the most. But we were kind of put in place to help cut down some of the problems that they have and some of the time that they have with doing repairs. So, I mean, we, like me and my coworker, we just started about a year and a couple months ago, and the company is already telling us that we do more work than people that have been there for 10 plus years.
Wow, very good. All right. What is like the number one issue you see with these washers and dryers if you like have seen anything like repeatedly pop up?
Um, re- Repeated offenses with washers would be more so their belts. And that's just because a lot of times people will overfill a washer. So if you put like a comforter, sheets, and your clothes in there, the tub is going to spin and it's going to put too much pressure onto that belt. Also bearings. The bearings are what hold that tub together. So a lot of times the washer have those two things. With the dryer, it's really the heating core. You can either have a gas dryer or an electric dryer, and the gas dryer is pretty much the components that hook up the gas are more so what cause a problem for a dryer. And then just the fact that not a lot of people clean out the lint catcher, so that creates a lot of lint inside of a dryer. And then just the venting. Like if the venting's wrong, it'll back up the dryer, which then again will cause a lot of lint to be built up inside of a dryer. So
All right, this is fascinating. Like, what got you into this position? Like, you just saw a notice, or like, why'd you decide to jump here?
so it's kind of messed up how I came across this job, but I was working for Dish at the time, and I was probably about 6 months into Dish. And don't get me wrong, when I say it, Dish is the work is great. I love going out and meeting new people in different parts of Virginia, and hooking up cable internet and landline. But it was the company, like the shop that I was working for, they really didn't, for me being a new tech out and, by myself, there was a lot of things that I still needed help with. And I would be out at a job for 3 or 4 hours and nobody would answer my calls to give me that one little advice that I needed to keep the ball rolling. And it went like that for 2 or 3 months. So at that point, I just kind of got on Indeed and was applying for jobs, and this company actually saw my application before I applied, and it was just kind of like a dating app. You're matched up because I sent them the application, and they called me literally the next day. So it was along the lines of customer service is what they needed. They didn't really want anybody that knew the job, like knew how to do the work. That was a plus for them. It was more so the customer service. So with me having a lot of customer service in my background, it was easy for them to teach me how to do the work than it was for them to teach me how to give great customer service.
Sure. Oh, wonderful. All right. Do you intend to stay in the trades? Like you said, this is your favorite job so far. Do you see yourself here 5 years from now? Are you intend on going back to sales, business? What's your plan?
My plan in 5 years, I hope to be, higher up in this job. Um, but I would say within the next 3 to 5 years, between this job and streaming, um, I hope to make streaming, full time.
Oh, you got a
That's
stream?
definitely the ultimate goal.
You got a stream?
Huh?
Do you have a stream?
Yeah.
Well, tell me about it.
Uh, I stream to Facebook, TM Thirsty Chef with the U. Um, I've actually next month on the 6th of September be my 1 year of streaming. Um, Before then, I've been doing videos, just kind of like taking clips from Xbox and making, minute and a half to 2 minute videos and posting them. Um, letting people know that I game and they can catch me, um, at any point at this gamer tag. And once I got into the PC got back into playing PC, I thought about it. Why don't I just try streaming? Everybody's doing it. Looks simple enough, and ever since then, it's been a great journey. Um, I mean,
Wait,
I'm
how's
not.
it going?
It's going good. I mean, I'm in the stage of building my followers up and getting the likes on the page. I hit the level up status. I want to say like 3 or 4 months into streaming. I got in with a lot of big streamers, and they've been pretty much helping me out from there, which has been great by them. And it kind of got me into wanting to actually do it more, because a lot of the time being a streamer, it it sucks not having followers and people watching. But for me, I do it because I love gaming. Um, I wouldn't say I could care less about viewers, but it's not my top priority. I'm doing it because if somebody happens to come across my stream and say, hey, I like the content, could you play this game? I'm there to help them see how I play the game. Maybe how I play the game could help them in sorts of playing it how I play it, or taking some tips from how I play and incorporating it into how they play.
Wonderful. All right. Um, Let me see here. So, what makes you unique, Brandon? Like you've got this incredible background. You've done a bunch of things. How are you approaching streaming as opposed to everybody else?
Um, what makes me unique as a streamer, I would say, is the different variety of games and the different variety of games that I stream. So a lot of times when I watch, my friends stream, or I catch a new streamer, they're always playing, the same game. It's a lot. It's one word you'll hear with streamers and certain games. Um, like Call of Duty right now is saturated with streaming. A lot of people are streaming it because of Warzone. But you can't really put anybody down for that, just because if they're good at it, they're going to stream it. If their viewers want to watch it, they're going to watch it. But for me, it's the variety of games. And I sometimes play games that not a lot of people will play. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm playing a game called Rocket Arena. It just came out, I want to say maybe a week or two ago. It could have been a lot sooner than that, but it's a 3v3 game that deals with basically rockets. And it's a fun game to kind of get you away from um, the mental stress of Call of Duty or PUBG or anything like that, where it's 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 a game that's just it's got the cartoonish feel to it. Um, so it's one of the games that I love playing as of right now. But I also play, single player games. Like I said, Division. Division 2. I would definitely stream something like that. I've streamed multiple single player games, which not a lot of people stream. Well, that I've seen, not a lot of people stream single player games. And that's just because I think viewers like to see their PvP side to gaming. And then you get a kind of bipolar situation with me. I could be real happy about a situation, or I could be, real mad about a situation, or just confused. So you get a lot of different personalities out of me when I stream.
All right. Okay, so Brandon, I'm going to ask a couple of personal questions, if I may. Uh, if you could go back in time and you could go and talk to your 15-year-old self, right when you were, entering the workforce, and you can go, little Brandon, this is everything that's going to happen to you over the next several years. But here's the one thing you need to know. What do you tell yourself?
I would tell myself a couple things. One, that'd be listen to my dad, simply because I had colleges offer me scholarships to play ball, but my coach didn't want to play me my senior year, so it kind of put a stop to that. I still love to play basketball though. And then another thing was just keep working at the gaming aspect of it. I know there was like a year and a half where I wasn't really keeping up with the gaming. I would play every now and then. I was still good at it, but I feel like I could have been to the point where I probably would have been streaming for 15 years by now or something like that. You know what I mean? So just, it would have been that keep following, just follow your dreams. Don't take that time off from doing what you want to do.
Hey, that's some fantastic advice. All right. Now, you see, Brent, I believe that we learn the most from our failures in life. I call it experience, right? When you get smacked in the face, that's when we get experience. Because you got to figure out what went wrong, you got to fix it, and then move forward in life.
Exactly.
What would you say your biggest failure is, and what did you learn from it?
My biggest failure, which it'll attach to everything that I basically do, was not listening to my dad. Like I said, he was good at basketball. He taught himself at an early age how to play basketball, and he had a lot of knowledge. With basketball, there's a lot of things that you can tell somebody to do that'll actually incorporate with their full-time life. And it was just, for me, not listening to him kind of put me into a zone where I just want to do things myself instead of taking notes and taking advice from others. Like I told myself, if I'm not taking advice from my dad, why would I take advice from this person? When, I probably could have been owning my own business by now if I would have listened to a couple of people that were trying to tell me how to do certain things. So that was probably one of my biggest, the number one failure that I had in life, and I definitely learned from it.
All right. Well, it's never too late to start your own business.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to start a barbecue and bar restaurant here soon.
Wonderful. If not for the pandemic, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Brandon, this has been an absolutely wonderful interview. How do people find you? Where are you at in social media? What's your handle again, please?
TM Thirsty Chef. It's like on Facebook, it's THURSTY Chef. And I want to say on Instagram, it's TM Thirsty Chef without the U. Because I guess too many characters. So yeah, Facebook, my Facebook gaming page is TM Thirsty Chef with the U, and my IG is TM Thirsty Chef without the U, and that's pretty much the only two social medias that I have running at the moment.
Fantastic. All right. So as we wrap this up, do you have any final thoughts you want to share, or anything I didn't ask you think we still need to cover?
The only thing I would share is if anybody's out there watching right now that feels like they want to stream, but they don't feel comfortable with it, go for it. It'll change your life. You would be surprised how many people would support you. That kind of support will really uplift you and carry you throughout life. I know for some people it's weird to say that gaming would, having support from gaming would uplift you and carry you throughout life, but it does. I mean, you could even stream without a cam for a little bit until you get comfortable, but go for it.
Right on. All right, Brandon, it's been an absolutely wonderful interview. I genuinely appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
Absolutely. And for everybody else, I'm going to remind you all, don't be just a gamer, be a gamerpreneur.